Hi lovelies, and welcome in my home. Cold November winds have been blowing through hedge and heath. Rustling and tugging the last colourful leaves of the trees that still were so beautifully adorned in their autumn dress-up just a little while ago. November also has brought the first frost of the season, and with it, unfortunately, another lockdown. With cold weather and quarantine restrictions confining us to our homes, I wanted to share 14 witch tips with you on how to practice Hearth witchcraft indoors to bring in some magic spark and brighten your day. But what is Hearth witchcraft? Hearth witchcraft, also sometimes referred to as cottage witchcraft, is a form of domestic magic that focuses on witchery around house and home. Infusing magic into mundane tasks and focusing on the energies of your space and the people that live in it. It can be very close to green witchcraft and kitchen witchery, but has its own practices and focuses on creating a sacred, relaxing and safe haven of refuge and contentment. The term itself derives from the Old English term hearth, that describes the fireplace that in medieval times was placed in the middle of the home. It was the literal center for the people living there, as it provided warmth and was the place to communally gather, cook and practice other household-related chores. Now let me take you along and show you my favorite ways to practice cottage witchery and tips for indoor witchcraft in general. Art witchcraft. On rainy days spent inside, I love to dedicate my time to activities that keep my hands and mind busy and add a spark of purposeful magic to my life or that of others. Knitting is a wonderful example, and I almost see it as some form of meditation. While my hands automatically move in wave-like motions, forming knot after knot, my thoughts will wander off, drifting, weaving onto each other, sometimes getting tangled or lost, and then connecting back to a frame of sense, binding and connecting to each other like the knots I tie with the needles. I will have the person for whom I am knitting this piece of clothing in my mind, weaving in the intention of what I want to give them. May it be protection, love, acceptance, comfort, happiness or health. Working an intricate knot spell into the garment. If you are no wizard with the needles, you could make wonderful decorative protection spells for your home. Or maybe finally get working on that altar table or kitchen witch spice rack that you have had on your Pinterest board for ages. If you're looking for fun witchy craft projects, I recommend checking out the Magical Crafting and Simply Witch on YouTube. Both links can be found below. We are also nearing Yule and the holidays. If you, like me, prefer to give enchanted handcrafted presents, you will have to start preparing very soon. If you'd like to get some ideas for DIY witchy presents, don't forget to subscribe. A video is already in the making. Kitchen witchery. The conscious activity of trying out a new kitchen witch recipe can be an incredibly unwinding and relaxing activity. Fully immersing yourself in the experience of baking or cooking by engaging your senses of taste, scent, touch and sight. Creating a nourishing, delicious dish that might be a family favorite or a newly discovered creation does cultivate a sense of mindfulness and does give that spark of magic to those who eat it. Cooking in itself can be a very calming task if you let it be one, switching off your busy mind or anxious thoughts by following the simple steps of a recipe, transforming basic ingredients into incredible taste combinations, while keeping your hands busy and your focus on the intent you're putting into the food. Enjoying the warm light from the oven, illuminating your kitchen, and the sweet and comforting smell of freshly baked cake that seeps into every corner of the house, giving it that homely, warm atmosphere. And then, of course, the feeling of success and happiness when the recipe turns out just as delicious as you had hoped. The beautiful moment to finally sit down with a cup of hot tea and enjoy the fruits of your labor, candle making and candle magic. When dark and grey November skies weighed quite heavy on our mood, candles can do a wonderful job bringing some natural light and cozy warmth into our heart and homes. At the same time, they can of course be used as a magical tool to set intentions or moods for certain areas of your house. If you're crafty, you could make your very own candle, infused with certain herbs or colors or dressed for a spell. But if you want to keep it simple, some colored candles lit with intent and maybe infused with corresponding scents can transfer your space into a sacred refuge as well. Gussy up your book of shadows. While naturally slowing down in winter, I do find appreciation and joy in quiet and simple activities that make my inner child happy. Coloring, writing, or arts and crafts. I do enjoy quiet evenings by candlelight, writing in my book of shadows or Greenwich herbal, transferring my notes and observations from my grimoires into a beautiful and pleasing form, decorating the pages with pressed flowers and leaves, and revisiting old knowledge or gathered kitchen witch recipes. Creating an artsy testimony of my craft for my own enjoyment and that of my patrons. Study and learn new things. Being confined to your home does offer many options for passive entertainment, and after the 15th rewatch of The Office, sometimes empty distractions can become mind-numbing and a bit depressing. And that's when we can also use our time for some productive studying. As a witch, you never stop learning, and there is just too much out there to master it all. So why not cozy up with a good book or have on an audiobook in the background and dive into a new spiritual study? I am currently learning more about the chakra system and reading up on Celtic history in my area. I especially love audiobooks because I can put them on whenever I'm doing chores and time just seems to fly by. If you're looking for some ideas, there are book suggestions linked down below. Do a cleansing day for your home. As we are spending more time inside, chances of chaos and clutter building up are bigger too. While during the warmer month, I will spend hours on end outside enjoying my garden, discovering new places, and going on day-long adventures. The winter months do naturally limit the time I can spend roaming around. The weather is not as accommodating and daylight hours are limited too. With so much time spent inside, I like to dedicate some of my free time to preparing my home and cultivating a sense of peace, tranquility and comfort. Physically cleaning and decluttering, and then bringing it all together with a touch of magic, inducing warmth, coziness and a sense of love and tranquility into our living space. Think of DIY cleansers, winter smoke blends, or bringing an element of witchcraft into mundane tasks to enhance the magic vibrations. Sex magic. With Hearth witchcraft being focused on the communal spirit, this can of course also be enjoyed as a communal activity, but there is really no reason why you shouldn't enjoy it alone too. During the shorter and darker days of winter, anything that gets our endorphins flowing can only be a good thing. there are multiple manifestation techniques that you can apply during some sexy time, combining the pleasant with the magical. And honestly, when it is pouring outside, staying in bed for a bit longer is so tempting anyways. Like that tip? Then give this video a thumbs up and show me some love. Up your skills and try new things. Of course, you can not only learn new things by reading, but you can also up your skills or try new practices. Long evenings are a perfect time to sit down in peace with your favorite cup of tea and try that complicated New Year's tarot spread, or maybe play around with runes for the first time. When the weather outside is not tempting you to leave the house, you could spend your time in the kitchen, attempting that advanced kitchen witch masterpiece that looked so festive and mouth-wateringly delicious in that one YouTube video. If you have a hard time with meditation or grounding, take some time to try out different techniques. Maybe find some fun guided meditations or visualizations to follow, or research breathing techniques, aiding your future witching endeavors as well as benefiting your mental health and overall contentment. Work with your herbal supplies. As a green witch, my personal practice involves a lot of time spent outside, roaming fields, forests and wild meadows, foraging for nature's treasures in the form of herbs, flowers and berries. So when outside everything is frozen and asleep under a fine blanket of frost, I am so grateful to be able to make use of nature's offerings that I have preserved over the warmer months. Dried summer herbs are a wonderful mood booster, mixed into a magic tea blend and sipped with gratitude and fond memories on my mind. They also make a wonderful natural remedy to seasonal depression or the winter blues, and can offer healing or a powerful boost for your immune system. Garden apples from the cellar can now be fetched to be cooked into jams, kitchen witch pies, or used for divination and love spells. Dried wildflowers bring a nostalgic happiness into the home and are wonderful tools to work some subtle color magic for calmness, harmony, or love around your space. And speaking of love, the blackberry liqueur I brewed at the end of summer and infused with intentions for relationship bliss and romance now comes in handy at cozy nights spent at the fireplace. You can also have fun and play around with salt and self-care product making, or try your hand at a magical cleanser for your home. But even if you didn't harvest your own herbs over the summer and still want to build and work with your witchy apothecary, there are wonderful herbal shops on Etsy that can aid you in your endeavors. I have linked your personal favorite for ritually made green witch kits down below. Do shadow work. While the summer heat often lets our thoughts flare in a haze, clouding our mind, the cool winter air also brings some sharpness to our thoughts. The slowness of winter gives us a chance to stand still for a moment, sit with ourselves and look into what is happening inside. Dark days spent in solitude do force introspective in one way or another. Especially during these times of lockdowns, quarantines and restrictions that limit our possibilities for escape, distractions and constant socializing, we are forced to be in our own company. And I'm sure we all value good company. So why not make our own company a pleasant one? We all have our shadows and issues, negative or limiting thoughts about ourselves or detrimental habits that harm our body or mental well-being. The colder month can be a wonderful time to do some shadow work or work on self-development. Set some goals and work towards them, might they be internal or external ones. Make a friend. I am a writer at heart, and even though now I do spend a lot of time writing on screens, there is really nothing more inspiring and inviting to me than a fresh sheet of paper and a pen. We do live in a very fast-paced world that makes it possible to converse with people from all over the world within nanoseconds. And while I do value this, I do miss the times when I could just go to my mailbox, open it and find this beautifully decorated, handwritten letter from one of my friends or relatives in it. Many witchcraft groups have pen pal threads where people interested in old-style snail mail will look for someone, often from another country or culture, to become pen pals with, to exchange knowledge, traditions, or in general talk about everyday life. And imagine how wonderful it would be to be sitting down while the rain is gently tapping against the window and writing a letter full of magical stories and personal anecdotes. And then the joy of opening your own mailbox and finding a little parcel filled with words of another witch and maybe a pressed flower or enchanted little trinket. There is really no reason why you shouldn't work some cottage witchcraft on your letterbox. And instead of only ever fishing out bills and unwanted advertisement, receive a handwritten personal piece of instant happiness. Have a witchy self-care day. Taking care of one's physical and mental well-being during these times is incredibly important. And also your spiritual well-being shouldn't be left out when looking after yourself. If you can, set some time aside for some wholesome self-care. A cleansing bath ritual can help you wash away some of the dark thoughts or winter blues. A homemade rose water moisturizer, applied with care and intent, can help you find your inner glow again. You could do a braid spell, weaving self-love, confidence and self-worth into your hair, or balance your chakras with aromatherapy or a simple yoga routine. If you'd like some more ideas on how to have a witchy self-care day, make sure to hit that bell notification button, as I'm uploading a video on that topic very soon. Journal and script. Journaling and scripting are two wonderful habits to develop for any witch, and both hold many purposes. Journaling can be a powerful tool for introspective shadow work and divination by simply jotting down your thoughts of the day, experiences that you had, or by writing in a dream journal. Scripting is a powerful manifestation technique to fuel your spell work, goals and aspirations. Personally, I feel that I have more motivation to write when I'm at home, in my safe space, where I can relax and truly open up my vulnerable self to pen and paper and let the words flow free. Having developed the habit of daily scripting last winter, I have kept it up all through summer and now see my diary entries growing longer and longer as the days become shorter and shorter. Go outside when you can. After a heavy rain bout, when the sun does peek through the white and grey blanket of clouds and cool winds clear the skies, the air feels crisp and like freshly laundered, I do take the opportunity to soak up some vitamin D. It doesn't matter how cozy you make it at home, your body and mind will still need some fresh air and sunlight to keep healthy and sane. The world suddenly seems to regain the vibrant colors of fall, and the rustling of the leaves under my shoes remind me that the wheel of the year keeps spinning and that this period is just a time of rest to regain energies for the new life waiting to emerge from the now frozen ground in spring. And with cold hands, red noses, and clear minds, we return to home, excited to spend some more time in our cozy hideout. These were my witch tips on how to practice half witchcraft in quarantine. I did choose this topic upon a subscriber's request. So if you would like to see a video on a certain topic, feel invited to comment down below. If you have more tips on how you witch during winter, please share them with us too. I wish you a magical day. See you soon!